Hi, Miss S. My name is Shelva, and I'll be going over a summary of your assessment. The first thing on the list is cognitive ability, and that just means the way you process information. So your cognitive functioning is within at least the average range based on your performance on the majority of subtests in both verbal and nonverbal performance. The second on the list is achievement. With the exception of math computation, which was an area of significant weakness, you performed within the expected range on other tests of achievement, including reading, spelling, and sentence comprehension. For information processing or attention, your scores on a measure of simple attention and working memory were variable, but generally within at least the average range. Your performance was reduced on the arithmetic subtest, but this is likely related to significant weakness in calculations, rather than a working memory impairment. On measure of sustained attention, your performance in the area of speed and accuracy were consistent with that of an individual with ADHD, but that's at a 0.01 significance level. Language, speech was fluent and adequately articulated, and there was no indication of any type of impairment in auditory, communication, or expressive language. Visual spatial abilities, there was no evidence of hemispatial neglect, object agnosia, or other visuospatial deficits. So for memory, there was no evidence of a primary retentive memory problem, but you did demonstrate a mild impairment in initially learning an attention-demanding word list. You retained all of the information that you had encoded after a delay, and your overall performance was intact. Similarly, there was no indication of a retentive memory disturbance for narrative, story, or figural information. Executive functions, reasoning, planning, and response inhibition were generally intact. You did show a mild impairment in problem solving due to a loss of set errors. However, you were highly anxious during this test, and that was the likely reason for your poor performance. For personality and mood, you obtained a valid profile. Your responses on the latter part of the test suggest an exaggerated pattern of reporting. This may be related to your overall level of anxiety and consequently reduced attention span. Your responses on the basic clinical scales indicate you are experiencing a high degree of psychological distress at this time, including symptoms of tension, depression, and agitation over problems in your environment. You may have some strained interpersonal relationships, and individuals with this type of profile often feel alienated from others. Your responses suggest that you have somewhat pessimistic outlook on life at this time and may be angry about your personal situation. And at times you may have a tendency to blame others for your problems. While you are open to psychological treatment, you should be cautioned about not terminating treatment too early once your current situational stress is reduced. Your BAI indicated subjective anxiety in the severe range. Your score indicated mild to moderate depressive mood. However, depressive symptoms did not meet criteria for a depressive disorder. Do you have any questions for me?